Hello and welcome to Confidently Wrong, a show by regular dudes talking with confidence about content we have no right to speak about with any kind of authority, but do it anyway. I'm Wesley Nakamura, and as always, I'm joined by award-winning director Brian Redondo and Savon Jones, aka Captain Bonnie. This is episode 206, and we recap the 2025 calendar year with all of our best awards. I'm confident that it's going to be the best show you've ever listened to, and well, hey, if it's not, you can always ask us for a refund. Incredible! Hello, gentlemen! Welcome back. It's Confidently Wrong. How's it going, Sav?
Yeah.
Nice. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm a villain.
I'm pretty proud of myself. I made like a Chipotle knockoff bowl yesterday. It came out pretty good. Made the cilantro lime rice. It was on
your own.
I made it. Yeah, all of it.
You could have just went to Chipotle.
I know, but I made it. And I did the beans. I did some pickled red onions. I didn't do any fajita veggies. I probably should have done it. It kind of slipped my mind. And then it was pretty good. It took too long. It took me like an hour and a half to do. Probably. I want to cut down the time somehow.
Best show intro of the year goes to Wesley Nakamura talking about making himself a Chipotle bowl.
Chipotle bowl at home. It was awesome.
Dear Diary.
Brian is a vegetarian chef. What's the best vegetarian dish
I cook
made
fish.
Brian, you're a vegetarian.
Okay, fish. Okay. Pescatarian then.
What's the best pescatarian, and I do the cooking in the household. So I will not make two meals unnecessarily.
Yeah, that's dumb.
We're just having one meal.
Oh, so you're just a man of convenience. You just eat what's convenient.
I'm eating at hair level, which is fine with me, right? That's just more healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at what
so
cost?
what's the best new dish you tried this year to make?
New dish?
Yeah. Or you just go through the staples? You got the same 10 on rotation?
Recently, I made this peanut stew dish with which is like sort of like a take on West African peanut stew, but Filipinos also have peanut butter stew, so it's kind of like my take on all of that. So it's like tomato paste with a shit ton of peanut butter, and some white beans and some sweet potato and kale in a stew. Delicious.
Really?
Over rice. I ate that for like a week and a half.
The peanut butter and tomato paste is really throwing me off, but that works well.
It's amazing.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing. Gotta try it.
All right.
So good.
Send us the recipe, Brian. We'll put it on Instagram.
And in like the actual stew versions of these, like in the Filipino version, it's with oxtail. And so the oxtail is fire. And then the West African version, I think maybe they make it with goat. Maybe I'm not entirely sure, but
I thought goat
usually
was more
there's meat. There's meat in there.
more like Ethiopian use goat, but maybe it's all over. I don't know much about African cuisine.
Apparently, goats are on a lot of.
That's probably true too.
West.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Let's get on with it. This
best intro to a podcast goes to.
We'll cut out all of this.
Brian talking about making various.
Nah, that sounded dope though. You should send us the recipe. All right.
Wes asked. I'm sorry.
This is
You
an early
indulged.
2026
You know better.
episode, but we're gonna review. We're gonna look back on 2025. This is the Confidently Wrong 2025 awards. We often do this type of show kind of just to wrap up the year and remember things. There were so many times when we were discussing this right before we recorded. They were like, "Oh yeah, that was this year," and like this was this year, and we kind of looked back fondly. So we're hoping this is a walk down memory lane that is both enjoyable and entertaining. We're gonna just get it started because
and all our picks are right. Roll out the red carpet.
We got a lot of
I know all
awards to
my
talk
picks
about.
are right.
Savon is never wrong. So
I'm wrong, just not in this space.
Not in this space. All right, number one, we're gonna start with a fun award. It goes to a moment, a scene, something. What was the most hype moment for you in 2025? Brian, we're starting with you.
Woo, this is a big award. We got to start off big. So I'm gonna actually mention that I'm kind of gonna give like two awards. I'm gonna give you my actual award, and I'm gonna give you the nerd award, the nerd version, the nerd choice. Right. So my actual most hype moment is the finale of the rehearsal with Nathan Fielder, where it turns out that this guy has been learning to fly jet planes throughout the entire season, unbeknownst to you. Like the whole season is about him trying to like change like how pilots pilot airplanes in a cockpit, whatever. But it turns out that this dude, this comedian, this joke of a human being learned to pilot aircraft. And then in the finale, like he drops that bomb and then he actually does it on camera for real. He takes 100 passengers on like a 747 and flies them for an hour. And this dude has never flown that type of plane before and is like the most nerve-wracking, jaw-dropping thing I've seen on TV in a long time. So wild, really hype. That's not the nerd thing. The nerd thing.
Wait, the 100 people have no idea this is his first flight and that he's never.
The only way that the FAA will allow him to do it, they can't be real passengers, so he has to pay 100 actors to act as passengers on his plane.
Oh.
And they sign like waivers and release forms. Like this guy has never flown a plane of this size ever before in his life. And now we're gonna do it on TV. It is so wild.
They know
it's amazing.
They're on board this plane and they know that
they know that they're there.
That's wild. No, thank
you.
To
be passengers for this test run. It's not a test run. It's like the
real deal.
But my nerd choice, eyeball monster moment from Alien Earth, swinging like Spider-Man into a replicant's eyes. I forget what they're called. Into the hybrid's eyes. Eyeball monster. Greatest thing. Greatest creature in TV of 2025.
That thing was crazy. Ended up in the goat's eye. It ended up
smarter than you thought. It like trapped people.
Yeah.
Poor Isaac. Love the eyeball monster.
Isaiah, whatever his name was, he got melted. Ooh.
Yeah, about a bug.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Savon, what was your most hype moment?
Yeah, I had a few of them. I'm gonna. So my main one is Conquest v Invincible. That was one of my favorite fights in the comic series, and I have been hyped up for Conquest's introduction since I started reading the series. After season 1 of the show, because I wanted to read the series. So I've been hyped for Conquest for quite some time, and I knew, oh man, Conquest about to come. He's about to act a fool. It's gonna be right after the. Everyone's like the Invincible War, and I'm sitting there just like, man, this ain't even the main event, baby. This is just the build up. We're not even at the peak of the mountain yet. And then Conquest pull up and they get busy, and the fight lived up to all the hype it did from the comic, and they added some great show only dialogue that flushes out the scene and character more. That also is gonna build up and pay off in a dope way in the show. So that was just one of those. I knew the fight was coming. And it lived up to all the hype and some, which has been a really good sign of the Invincible series. So that's my most hype. And then my honorable mention is just getting to see Sam Wilson like Cap on screen. I know people didn't like the movie. I don't care. I've liked the character since I was a kid. I remember when in the comics we got a black Captain America, and that was the hardest shit ever to me. So getting to see that portrayed on screen, even if the movie had its flaws, doesn't really matter because my inner kid was placated in a way that very rarely happens. So that's my honorable.
And it was no fault of Sam Wilson or Anthony Mackie.
I have nothing else to say, Wes.
He did his job.
Moving on. What is your hype moment?
All right.
Nothing else from you.
My hype moment comes from a trailer. This was, I don't know, way back in the beginning of the year, and it still sticks out in my mind. Maybe this is like February or like right after the Super Bowl. I don't know. It's the moment where you see the people running from above, like they're little tiny ants, and then you hear this like poof sound, and then all of a sudden there's just these shadow marks on the floor, and the people are gone. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And it was coming from a Marvel movie, and it was the trailer for Thunderbolts, Asterisk, and just that moment of seeing that on TV, I was like, I have to see this movie. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to see what's happening with these people just like being completely snuffed out into shadows on the floor. I couldn't I couldn't imagine what was making that happen. I didn't know if like Galactus was involved here, but all I knew was like that was an amazing visual and the way that they shot it. So that was my most hype moment. It sticks out in my brain like a, you know, in the Matrix they talk about, you know, like a something in your brain, like a pebble in your brain. That's what this was for me the whole year. Couldn't believe that they did that, and it couldn't believe they did it in a Marvel movie. So that trailer moment was, oh, I'm gonna go see this movie for sure. Should we move on, Brian? Any thoughts on that? You look like you're ready to say something.
No, I was just thinking about how you described the people disappearing and them leaving skid marks. They're just like shit stains. Like, poof, gone.
Yeah, just poof, and just.
I think it was supposed to be inspired from Hiroshima, but yes, I think that's also a very, very tasteful comparison, Brian.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Well, they didn't die.
Well, I mean, that's not the only atom bomb, I guess, reference then, because Iron Man 2 is it Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3? Maybe Iron Man 3 has the shadows of the people after the explosions of the people that are like burning inside.
But I'm saying the creative team talked about how they inspired, the whole thing with him was directly inspired from Hiroshima, how people were like straight up wiped out of it and left those ash marks. Like that was a direct like inspiration reference of, okay, this is what we're going for. Wild shit.
Inspired by as a crazy term there. All right, let's keep it moving.
Up, huh? Yeah.
All right, but that caught me. I was just like, that's an insane visual. Yeah, I was like, that's what is happening here. All right, let's get into it. Next one, best TV show of the year. This is a big award. There was a lot of TV on this year. Let's start with Sav. Sav, what was your best TV show of the year?
Yeah, for me, Alien Earth. I've always been a big fan of the Alien series and franchise. I've talked about how I'm a big fan. Alien Earth just did a great job of blending the sci-fi classic shit with the horror, with some really dope human existential, just human body of mind type stuff. And it gave us pieces of the world in the Alien/Predator universe that we've never seen before. And it did a great blend of new monsters, horror, but also simultaneously the parallel horror of human greed and capitalism and just the techno horror element. But the way that they straddled both those lines very well, introduced new concepts, built off old ones, gave us an episode that was basically just a condensed Alien movie in one as exposition for the larger plot. Really, really good show. I'm excited for more and to see just how they flesh this out. And it feels like the Alien and Predator franchises in general are moving in a really strong place in terms of just storytelling and things moving forward. But I really like Alien Earth and what it means. Like, I can't wait.
Well, that's a good answer. It's not as good as my answer. My best TV show of the year goes to Andor season 2, baby.
And you say you don't smoke, and you say you don't like do drugs or smoke weed or nothing. Or, you say you live a sober lifestyle. Are you sure?
That's crazy that you don't like this show. Andor season 2 is a phenomenal piece of storytelling. A great incorporation of greater ideas around revolution and what it takes and the cost of doing it. There was so much to love, and the acting was superb. The writing was amazing. The revolution that happens, or the massacre in Gorman, was, you couldn't take your eyes off it. And the moment where he says, "Who are you?" Right? And it just destroys, I forget his name. It just destroys that character, the bootlicker guy. And what a phenomenal piece of storytelling. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, because I've talked to several people who are like, I couldn't get into it. It was kind of boring. And you're not the only one that had this take. And
really, who are these people?
I know. I don't understand it. It to me, this was such a well done show that I'm going back to rewatch season 1 right now, and it stands up. I just got through the prison
all
sequence.
The stuff you hyping up is true. All that is true. Well written, incorporated ideas. Like, nothing you said was false.
Yeah.
But that shit is boring.
I didn't find it boring, though. I found it like enthralling. I like love being in this world. I love seeing like all these machinations that these people are trying to carry out, and the difficulty, right? The tension of doing those things, both on the ISB side, on the rebellion side, personal cost to like the growth that needs to happen for Andor, just all of these things were amazing. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about this. That I think, to me, it puts Tony Gilroy in this like pantheon of writers who are like, okay, I trust you implicitly. Like whatever you make next, I'm gonna watch it, even if it's about banana slugs in a forest. I'm gonna go watch it because I know that something good is gonna happen from me watching this. Brian, what was your TV show of the year? Our resident experts on award-winning, movies, TV, things like that.
Last year, so I said last year was a weak crop of movies. 2025 bumper year for TV.
A bumper crop is like a big
It's a banner year for TV. Both things you guys mentioned, awesome shows. There's so many other shows that came out that were just like really incredible. Like Adolescence, Last of Us season 2, Severance season 2, other stuff that I'm blanking on at the moment. So my actual pick is The Studio, which is Seth Rogen running a movie studio. Just like easily the funniest show that I've seen all year. Like I was laughing out loud. Like and technically is also really well done because they do a lot of long one take scenes or even a full on episodes. Like one of the best episodes of TV I saw this year was the episode called The Oner, where
you talked about that, yeah. When we were talking about adolescence, right? We were talking about adolescence, and we were talking about the one shot that show, and then you said this one did something similar, right?
Yeah,
okay, I remember that conversation. Yes.
They do a lot of that on this show, but on top of that, it's just hilarious. It's so funny, and then the finale that features Zoe Kravitz and Bryan Cranston being like drugged out of their minds is just pure bonkers television, and it is really great. I was excited to watch every single episode. But my nerd pick, I could give it to Andor. Why do you always
get two picks? What is happening here?
Because I'm of two minds. Because I know you guys don't watch any of the shit that I watch.
Andor.
I could give it to Andor to stick it to Savon, but I'm going to throw it to me.
You're sticking it to yourself watching that bland shit. Like there's no skin off my back. If you like it, hey, I'm glad that unlike Avatar, I'm glad that Andor fans have that show for them to enjoy. And I'm
giving it to Pluribus though. I'm giving
gobble
it to
Pluribus.
Up. Oh, phenomenal! I love Pluribus.
Yes, the
so
Apple
good.
show. It
is an Apple show, yeah. Yeah, I really want there to be season 2. I hope they do it. It'll be great. Manusos. He's awesome. I love that they didn't come together and they weren't simpatico. I guess a more safe choice would have been for them to all like start working together immediately.
Oh yeah,
on the
absolutely.
Same wavelength. I guess that's a spoiler. Sorry guys if you haven't seen Pluribus.
Womp.
Character conflict.
Whoops.
What about movies though?
All right. Best movie of the year. This was hard. I didn't see a ton of movies this year. And the ones I did see, I was like, they're fine. But I don't know if anyone deserved my best movie until I recently got a chance to watch One Battle After Another. And it has stuck with me. I watched it a little. I've heard about it, right? I was like, oh, a bunch of people recommended it. I think Brian maybe recommended it and said it was good. And I checked it out on HBO recently. And
that's right.
You're welcome, Wes.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's not necessarily my favorite movie in terms of like, it makes me feel like, oh, I relate to all these characters and I can see, I can feel like everything that they're feeling. But it was my favorite movie because every character is just so, I don't know what other word to say. It's like they're so delicious is the wrong word, but like I love watching all these characters on screen, from the sensei character that Benicio del Toro creates to Leonardo DiCaprio, who I sometimes feel like Leonardo DiCaprio kind of plays kind of a similar person all the time. Maybe not similar, but he always kind of plays like a very secure, very like I'm in control kind of character. And then, kind of loses it for a little bit. And that's kind of his character. And in this one, it really felt more like he was Bob. He was just Bob to me. He wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio in this movie. And I really appreciated that from him. It's such a weird character, right? He was kind of blitzed out of his mind. He was, crawling on the floor. He was paranoid. but like in such a believable way. He had true fears. He had real fears that like everyday people experience. But then he also had like enormous fears that no one experiences that like are just in his own head because he's part of this like weird resistance group. That's, you know, I don't know. It was a phenomenal movie from start to finish. Every character is just a standout. Sean Penn is in this movie and does a crazy job as being this villain who has this like weird walk. He's, you know, he is a caricature, but he also feels real in some ways. Everything is just so thought out in how he moves and how he acts and how he talks and his facial movements. Like, I don't know, everything felt like this is acting. Like, you know, if you're looking at this movie, it's like, this is acting. And that's how I felt about this movie. So best movie of the year. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm probably going to watch it again. And I very rarely watch long movies like that over and over again, but I think I have to go back to this. So that's what I was feeling about this movie. I loved it. And I feel bad because Sinners was so good and everybody loved it, but I felt like I connected to this one way more than I did Sinners. And partly it's maybe because Sinners had a lot more hype before I got to see it. And so my expectations were like, oh, this is going to be like the movie and such an experience. And it was, but I think maybe my hype in my head was too high and it could never hit that bar. And that was unfair of me to the movie, but you know, that's where my expectations were. So
very interesting, Wes.
Yeah. Time and place, you know?
Yeah.
Seth,
built up hype, couldn't connect to it. I see.
I don't know.
But
Sav,
you connect to Leonardo DiCaprio? No, Demon. I
didn't connect to Leonardo DiCaprio other than we're both fathers in the movie.
I can't connect to Michael B. Jordan for some reason.
Sure, I don't know. I couldn't connect to the movie because of the hype. Let me stop messing with this man. You don't know what to say. I'm done, Wes. I'm sorry. I'm not. No, I am. No, my favorite movie.
These people are really gonna get the wrong idea about me, Savon.
I know, bro. I know. Look, y'all. Wes is an ally. He's cool, but I'm also gonna give him a hard time because it brings me genuine joy. And sometimes he be saying shit, and it's like, come on, man. I'll be a fool not to poke at this. Like, Brian was making faces or thinking them at least. No. My top movie of the year was Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. I think it broke the record for like highest grossing, I think, animated movie or anime movie, something. It broke records. It was like the 7th highest grossing movie of the year. But for anyone who watches even a little bit of anime, it's a very popular show. Very straightforward about this kid, and he's a part of a core of folks who slay demons. This movie is them capping off the end of the series. So the series normally has had like, you know, it's had movies, but mostly it's just been different seasons. They're wrapping up the series with a series of movies actually to wrap up the whole story. So we got this movie. The movie ended on a cliffhanger because it's the adaptation of the manga's longer final arc, but they're just doing it in several sequence movies that'll come out over the next probably like 5 years or so. But it was great. Animation was great. The fights were top tier. It was just everything you would want in a dope animated movie. And every time I was in the theater, me and Tony were there, and multiple times we're just like, yo, this is effing awesome. At the movie theater, the lines were long as hell. Everyone was dressed in cosplay with their various Demon Slayer outfits and
What
robes.
was your cosplay?
I was a dude, as in like I was just a dude. I wasn't dressed. But
Boo.
plenty of folks had dope costumes and shit, and so the hype was real. But yeah, really dope movie, fun. If you're into anime, it was like the blockbuster event of the year. Like I said, it broke records like no one's business, and we're gonna get more of these movies over the next few years, which is
That's
exciting.
crazy that it broke records, and I didn't hear about it till literally you just told me about it on this podcast.
And again, we live.
I wish we would have had more.
We
need more advertising or something. I don't know.
We know how attuned you are to what's going on out there in the world.
Not very attuned, but
again,
clearly
you said it was like number 7 this year or something. I mean, I
saw Demon. I mean, it's like one of those.
That should have made it on my radar.
Wes, this isn't the 1990s. We don't all have one monopolized, just all one media thing. We get our shit.
The monoculture is dead.
Monoculture's dead, man. The biggest shit in the world is still niche, depending on who you're talking to.
And if you're not into anime, right?
Yeah, and if you're not into anime, you just never will be into that.
You probably have seen the title of this movie, but totally filtered it out of your brain because it doesn't even register.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, I'm not into musicals.
Demon Slayer's huge, man.
Wicked was all over my whatever awareness
because you're already able to you're primed to accept those words.
You see a lot of
you
filler.
have pre-recognition to Wicked. You've seen Wicked on stage. So,
I did. It was awesome.
So when you see it, yeah. But normally Demon Slayer, like hell, I would pass through Demon Slayer stuff for years before I got locked into the series, and then I realized, actually, I've been seeing Demon Slayer everywhere. I just never, to Brian's point, never made the connection of because your brain filters out shit all the time.
Would I enjoy this movie?
I don't know what you enjoy. No, you know what, Wes? You wouldn't enjoy it because the movie is the adaptation of a longer arc, and there is not a definitive conclusion. The movie ends with a fight ending, a character dying, but several other characters in the movie are now going into their fight, which will be the setup for the next movie. There was no resolution to the larger conflict. All they did was advance it forward to lead into the. So you would be upset. The same reason you were mad about Spider-Man. Wait till they release
the full trilogy.
Yeah, but also I don't think you'd like Demon Slayer. Period.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I don't know why, but I'm gonna just start saying it doesn't have souls.
That's fine
because the demons don't have souls. No, but I don't know. It's very violent. I don't think.
All right. Award-winning director Brian Redondo. You can't pick your own movie. What was the best movie of the year?
It hasn't come out yet. It's still in the oven.
You didn't have any movies come out this year? You did all TV this year?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No documentaries either? I thought you did.
Everything's in the oven, man.
Okay.
Everything's
Let him cook. Right. God damn it.
These things take time.
All right. Best movie of the year. You can't self-nominate. What did you go after?
So it's definitely one battle after another.
Yes.
That movie through and through, just like the most excellent filmmaking of the entire year. Like top. Like every single performance, every single story.
Hooterville Junction, bro.
No wasted minute. All the writing, the dialogue, and the action, right? Like
action was so good.
This is the first time Paul Thomas Anderson has done action, and all the chase scene. Like these are the chase scenes in this movie are going to go down in movie history. Like that's how you do a car chase. Like with all the stakes. And part of one thing that I'll add that Wes didn't mention was. Part of why this movie hit so hard was because of the timing that it was released. Like in this movie, you have the military trying to round up immigrants in a sanctuary city who are actually being pushed forward by a secret cabal of white supremacists. And there's like a whole like
they're called the Christmas Adventurers Club, by the way. It's a terrible name.
Put a terrible twist on Christmas for me this year. And then you have like a whole underground railroad network of Mexican immigrants being led out of harm's way by Benicio del Toro. And then there's rioting in the streets. People are fighting against the military. And then you have this whole other underground group of anti-fascists who are literally blowing stuff up as part of their protests against fascism. And all of it works so well together around this, what is ultimately a father-daughter story. And it's just incredible filmmaking. It's a great movie. But I also want to shout out Marty Supreme, which is really awesome. Sinners was dope.
Always two.
And my nerd pick.
Right?
My nerd pick.
Oh, now it's 3.
No one's gonna like this.
Get the music going. Plenty of music on this guy. Hey man, get this,
no. My nerd pick.
Get this jabroni off the stage. This man giving out awards.
No one's gonna agree with me. Fantastic Four, my nerd pick.
That was a good. I think that's. Wait, why do you say no one disagree? I think that's a very acceptable answer.
I think a lot of people didn't like it as much as
people are effing
other
idiots,
stuff.
Brian.
People were like, "Yo, Thunderbolts, yo, Superman." No, I like Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four is a very valid movie.
I was really charmed by that movie.
It's the best take we've gotten of the Fantastic Four, arguably. I have been on the record for years saying Fantastic Four as a team sucks because they're not interesting and they're never written well, and Reed is better as his own character. And that movie fixed all of that and gave it a cool, unique aesthetic to just drive it home. Nah, Brian, I think that's a very
cosign.
I think that's a very I don't know if it's my movie of the year. It's a very acceptable answer.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
All
Thank you,
Savon. Okay, our
the
next
voice of
award.
reason.
I have my moments. If you don't say dumb shit, I'm on your side.
Andor, amazing. All right. Stole the Show Award. This is any character, any moment, whatever that maybe wasn't supposed to be the main thing and then ended up just being something you couldn't look away from. So, what in 2025 stole the show for you? We'll go with Savon. Start us off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stole the show moments, but I wanted to show Sinners some love. So for me, I'm gonna go with Delta Slim. Delta Slim was my surprise favorite character in Sinners. They introduced him as just this old, washed up, drinking blues player, and they play him a lot for comedic relief. But he has some of the really more insightful and enjoyable moments in the movie. I really appreciate one of my favorite parts of Sinners is the scene where Preacher Boy's playing the blues and they're driving in the car along the road, and then you see the chain gang of men beating on the chains, and then you see Delta Slim kind of like give them words of encouragement. But then Delta Slim tells his story, right, of how he wanted more in life and he had a friend who wanted more and they reached for the sky, but they were killed for it. And then he kind of resigned himself to just his music and his drinking. It was a very dark, somber moment in a very interesting movie that talked a lot about the culture and black experience of the time and didn't harp on it, but like for a character who was generally played for laughs and kind of not taken seriously throughout the movie, his really serious scene where they're playing the music is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie, if not in a lot of films in general. But Delta Slim, the actor, who getting the name off the top of my head, but like he just brought a
Delroy Lindo.
Thank you, Delroy Lindo, who again he's in so much shit over the years, but he just was really good. He's a very talented actor, and he brought so much. He really brought a veteran presence to that role. That again, yes, he's the haha character, but he was the moment where he got serious. Though you could feel the vibe of the room shift, and all the characters really hang on to his every word, which I thought was really powerful. But I loved it, and he went out like a G. Self-sacrifice for the squad.
Oh, I forgot that he did that. He'll always be Aaliyah's dad to me in that movie with Jet Li. And then
is that Romeo Must Die?
Oh yeah,
Romeo Must Die. Yes.
I wanted
we need a remake of that.
It's not my pick,
Reboot.
but shout out to Preacher Boy in that movie. Maybe not like a scene stealer, but like a revelation. Like, wow, his voice is amazing. Love to hear him. I recently heard a clip of, I think he was doing the same song, but live as his own person, and it's just like reinforced like how good his voice is. Love that. Brian, who was your stole the show award this year?
I think both of those guys that you mentioned are great picks. I'm gonna go left and say ASAP Rocky and Highs to Lois, going toe to toe with Denzel Washington. It might be one of the best dialogue scenes of the year,
and one of the worst movies of the year,
and a terrible movie.
Wild, which is that's why you said I was like ASAP Rocky. I'm like he was good, but that movie sucked. That movie was not.
This movie,
that movie was not
is
good.
a total mess. Total mess. Spike Lee is way over the hill.
It was the most.
However,
Brian, it was the most pull up your pants energy movie I have seen from Spike Lee, who loves his pull up your pants energy, and I thought I was getting whacked over the head. Sorry, Brian.
But yo, ASAP Rocky in this one scene is just so awesome. He's just like, man, throwing bars, but also like talking a ton of smack, being really aggro with Denzel, who's a record executive. ASAP Rocky's playing an up and coming rapper who wants to reach superstardom. And they're just going head to head, and I think part of why for me it stole the show. One was there was a show to be stolen for sure, but also you just don't. I just didn't have any expectations for ASAP Rocky, and he just like comes in and injects the movie with so much energy and heart and anger and like just a really complex mix of emotions that you love this guy, you hate this guy, you're scared of this guy, you want to root for this guy. And his screen presence is just so undeniable, and I would love to see him in more movies and TV. So let's see it. ASAP Rocky 2026. Let's see it.
He was that was the most realistic, like modern angry New Yorker. Like Oh my! I mean, which he is. He's a New Yorker, but like, yeah, Brian, the authenticity was literally that's the first thing that stood out to me in that scene. I was like, oh, he really talking that shit. I'm like, oh, Spike Lee didn't write this dialogue.
No, definitely not.
They let ASAP do his thing and say, hey man, just kind of like do your thing, and he did his effing thing. Hard cosign on that.
Nice. My Stole the Show award. I'm really torn here. Bob from Thunderbolts kind of stole a lot of scenes, a lot of parts of that movie, especially on the escape where he's just like, I don't know, guys, I'm just gonna do this thing. I don't know where I'm at, and ends up doing some crazy stuff. And Clea from Andor season 2, where we finally get to see more of like where her motivations are and where she comes from. And then her ability to infiltrate the hospital or whatever it was at the end.
Great episode.
Just
cool.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought she was always going to be sort of the assistant, and then all of a sudden she became kind of a main character for a minute. That to me was really great. But I think Stole the Show kind of implies that like this person has this larger than life or takes over and is just like you cannot look away from them. And it has to go to Sean Penn as Stephen J. Lockjaw for me. Colonel, Captain, whatever his title was, just a complete mess of a human being. Yeah, he licks his comb before he combs his, like, I don't even know what his haircut was. It wasn't like a military issue haircut. It was just this weird, like, emo style haircut on a 65-year-old man or a 70-year-old man. He has this, interesting way of walking, like he's going into like a battle, like what are those Rock'em Sock'em, robots? He like his arms are always moving this way. He dresses weird. He denies that he's a homosexual. He like licks his lips. He's all about violence. He at the end he gets shot in the face and lives. And is just walking down the road like a maniac, ready to do his 20 miles to get to safety or whatever. To
he says the craziest stuff afterwards, with his like messed up lip and like, fake eye.
Oh yeah. Well,
I was reverse raped.
And the other guy goes, a semen demon? But that wasn't him stealing the show. That was the other character. But yeah, just I mean, every time he's on screen, you're like, this is a maniac, but doesn't feel so maniac. You're like, this is so absurd that like I can't even watch this movie. He fits in the world. I don't know. I don't know how they did that. He should not work. That character should be too much of a trope, too much of a thing. And whatever Sean Penn did or the director did or whoever did it, he ends up being an actual, person character that you're just can't look away from. I don't know, Brian, if you want to add anything to Lockjaw, but he's like turned on by the weirdest things. Yeah, I mean, it's awful, but great. What a character.
He's great. He
stole the show. All right, moving on. I think you should watch this. It's on HBO Max. You have HBO Max,
well, you spoiled it. No, I don't want to watch it.
It's not. None of that is spoiled. None of that is spoiled.
Sorry, I know what happened.
You have to experience it. It's one of those movies you can experience. You could know all the plot points and still not know what it was.
So what you're saying is that it has
a soul. Has a soul.
It really does, man. If any movie has it.
First of all, I'm a godless heathen, so barking up the wrong tree. No. So all right. I mean, I've heard good things about it,
and I think you would like it. All right. Let me see. Okay, we got another one. Biggest surprise of 2025. You can go wherever you want with that. Brian, what's your biggest surprise of 2025?
I'm going to go with straight up nerd pick. Marvel Zombies being amazing, kind of. Like, whoa, that was not on my bingo card for 2025. Though they flubbed the ending royally, the ending was as bad as the rest of the series was really great. And to me, deliver that dose of Marvel that I think a lot of people have been fiending for the past couple years. Like, it's actually, a lot of it is delivered in Marvel Zombies. We just got like the coolest comic book moments, I think.
I only liked Blade Knight from that. That wasn't my favorite. Blade Knight was awesome though. Nice. Savon, biggest surprise for you?
For me, Oz Wakanda. I just wasn't sure what they were gonna do with it. I I've always been a fan of anthology series, and I didn't know at first whether or not they were going to do an anthology, how hard they were going to lean into it. They hadn't been promoting it, so we didn't know a lot about like the visuals, the animation style, all of that. I and I wasn't the biggest fan of how the What If animation budget clearly fell off a cliff, and it was kind of like showing in an obvious way. So yeah, Eyes of Wakanda. I enjoyed the anthology. I thought the animation style was great. I thought them telling the different stories of Wakanda across history was really dope, and then the way they tied it all together and then tied it directly into what we know about the Black Panther mainline series was really cool. And this is the kind of like Marvel animation that I always want to see more of, where you can get creative, you can tell fun stories, you're not tied down by actors and contracts and MCU and all this other stuff that just gets in the way. This was just them saying, hey, we're Disney, we got a pretty good budget, we got some cool creative minds, let's just do this side story and let y'all have fun with it. And it's one of those, like, it's a perfect example of like, yo, when Marvel just lets the creative people be creative and cook, they're gonna give you some fire shit. And I'm glad Eyes of Wakanda just totally delivered that.
I was gonna say my biggest surprise was how disappointed I was at Wicked for Good, but now that you're saying that, I'm gonna go a Marvel route too. So three Marvel things in a row. My biggest surprise was Riri Williams taking the deal at the end of Ironheart.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming. I would have thought hero story. She's going for it. This is her level up moment. And Savon was just like, no, she was gonna crash out the whole time, and this was exactly what the character needed to do. But I did not see it coming. I thought we were gonna get a normal hero coming of age story, and instead we got her taking the deal with Mephisto. So that was my biggest surprise. I don't think the kids say shook anymore, but I was shook by that. All right, let's keep it going.
Too bad it may never pay off.
Yeah, that's the real thing.
Yeah. Biggest surprise.
They don't have any plans for Riri to come back, I don't think, for at least not in that particular storyline. All right, let's keep going. Most confidently wrong take of 2025. Mine was that I didn't really love Thunderbolts. I really had a problem with like them jumping into the Void Realm or whatever it was, and I didn't think that like they spent enough time building the relationship between our misfit characters, and it to me it didn't feel like they had earned that. But everybody else seems to think they did, and that it was awesome. So I guess that was my confidently wrong take, that that Thunderbolts was fine, but they could have done more with the relationships, and everybody else seems to think it was pretty awesome. So I'm still gonna stand on that hill. I don't think it was amazing, but that's where I'm at on that one. Sav, what was your confidently wrong take of 2025?
I mean, I'll be right, man. Like, I'll be right, and other people be wrong, and I'm sick of sitting here pretending fake humble, acting like that's just not how I feel. Like, I don't think I was really wrong about nothing for real. Like,
you said that Avatar on our last episode was on the same level as what Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
I just said they're all
wrong.
Avengers Endgame.
I just said that they're all blockbuster movies. I just don't prescribe to this whole they have some soul that this one didn't.
To be fair to Savon, that take was in 2026. So 2025, no misses.
Don't worry, no. I still felt that way in 2025. I felt that way in the theaters when I saw Avatar. And we can roll it back. I don't know,
down.
Throughout, I feel like most of my takes have all been very well founded. I have a very evidence based approach. I never say some shit without something to back up the point I'm making. That's the real big one. It's not just me.
This is a candidate for most confidently wrong take of 2026.
hey, I do an evidence based approach. Unless y'all got some evidence of like, hey man, Savon, this was just completely off base, and you could prove it. No offense. I ain't trying to hear what y'all gotta say. I'll be right. Like,
but you don't accept feelings and character development as evidence. You say that doesn't matter.
Andor was born. Yeah, I just say I thought the shit was there. You just didn't. First of all, Wes, see, now you gotta make me go on the offense. You sleep through movies, so no. I'm just pulling that card on you. Asterisk.
I definitely have nodded off in more than one movie.
Maybe if Brian puts one of his awards in the background, I'll be a little more swayed by his words. But then I can't argue.
I'm humble, man.
I
don't need those.
Well, I'm gonna need you to flex a little harder because I'm on my. I need a show of. I don't know, man. I don't be wrong about shit. Like,
Brian's name is on an envy envelope somewhere.
I don't know. Y'all might have to.
I got a picture to prove it.
I don't know. Hit me. Besides what's the take I had this year that was just like completely off base?
It's definitely Andor.
It's Andor? But
So
but I've never called Andor bad though.
You said it's boring.
I think it's boring.
It is the opposite
I think it's
of boring.
I'll be watching that shit and I'm like,
so good. All right,
keep it moving. So,
Brian, most confidently wrong take. We
Never
still got
been
like
wrong.
10 more categories.
K-pop Demon Hunters being weak.
Whoa!
I think it's still kind of weak.
Really.
Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Though that golden song has
Build
really
the
crawled
moon,
into my
bro.
head.
Yeah.
Once I saw the real life performers do that song on like Jimmy Fallon or something like that, I was
Sold
like,
you
oh,
on it?
this is a good song.
Good song.
I
It's a hit.
kind
It's a
of
bop.
don't care for it in the movie, and things are whatever in the movie, but good song.
All right. I really love that movie. I think it's great. All right, let's keep going. Movie or TV show that everyone was talking about this year. Like you had to see it, otherwise you weren't part of the conversation. We have fewer and fewer of these things now because, like we said, there isn't must-see TV anymore. There's no monoculture. Not even everybody watches the Super Bowl anymore. So what was the show or the show or movie that everybody was talking about and you had to see it, otherwise you were left out? Brian, who does that award go to this year?
I mean, it's kind of K-pop Demon Hunters. Is this an award?
It was in the zeitgeist.
Sinners is also in the zeitgeist, and I think like both of those things for me kind of suffer from the hype. I'm like, oh man, like hype is just so hard to live up to.
Yeah.
You're
not gonna make fun of him. This is the
all-
exact same thing I said.
I was about to say, maybe the problem
Okay.
is that y'all need to chill with this hype shit because y'all always
So
take
much
hype and then use that to make up this imaginary thing that your stuff will never
put it on a
compare
pedestal.
to.
We're putting it on a pedestal. Yeah.
Or you can watch
put it on a
shit
pedestal.
and just enjoy it for what it is.
It's true. We could do that. Like Avatar. That's how I did it.
But if you done made up your mind about you want this to be, y'all going to horror movies and being mad there wasn't an action scene. It's like,
Oh yeah, I didn't see Weapons this year. That's a big blind spot in our best movie of the year stuff.
Never heard of it.
That Weapons I've heard great things.
All right.
Weapons.
I definitely think that award has to go to Sinners. I feel like everybody was talking about it. It was all over social media. Ryan Coogler was everywhere. Michael B. Jordan was everywhere. It was just and then just the execution of it was really cool. What a really original story. You know, we always lament that everything is a franchise or an IP, and this one felt new and different and just like really interesting. So I think that was the one that I felt pressure to go see because everybody was talking about it. And once I saw it, I was like, yeah, I get why everybody was talking about it. Even though, like you said, I had hyped it up too much, I think, in my own head. So I didn't necessarily feel like it was like the best movie I'd ever seen, but I could see why everybody was like, captivated by it and just a really great thing. And, shout out to Ryan Coogler for continuing to make these movies that are just really awesome. Yeah. All right. Best game of the year that you played. So it's not, you can't just say, whatever Game Awards gave their award to this year. What was the best game of the year that you played? I only have one game that I played this year, so it goes to Marvel Rivals for me. It actually took me off Apex, and which I had been playing for several years as my main game, and now I play Marvel Rivals almost exclusively. So, Sav, what's your best game of the year that you played?
in terms of new stuff, but probably Ghost of Yote. Got that for PS5. I'm not done with it, but very good. Honestly, no, this year, no, I'm gonna go with Monster Hunter. I got a lot of value out of Monster Hunter. They had the new Monster Hunter World entry. Game is dope. Cinematic dope. Gameplay's fun. They're still adding new monsters and content. I've been a long time fan of the series, and they really delivered. And there's still lots. It's one of those games I can revisit, and they're gonna have a huge backlog of just new content that they've added. Yeah, actually, Monster Hunter Wilds is my.
Nice. I saw a clip of best games, somebody else's idea of best game, 10 best games or something like that. And Monster Hunter Wilds made the thing, and the visuals were cool. The monsters are really interesting. They're imaginative.
Yeah, I mean it's
That's
like a whole fictional biology thing. Almost on some Avatar stuff.
This is just crazy boss fights over and over
Yeah.
with those monsters.
Yeah, and you hunt the
basically.
monsters to get loot, to hunt better monsters, better loot. Very fun.
That feels like Horizon, Forbidden West or Horizon Zero Dawn.
Similar in some ways,
Yeah.
in that regard.
All right, Brian, best game you played this year?
The best new to me game that I played this year was definitely Baldur's Gate 3, which I sunk a ton of hours in. Still have 2 campaigns going that we keep drawing out. But actually, the best new game that I played, is actually the Game of the Year award winner, Claire Obscure 33, Expedition 33, or whatever the subtitle is.
Yep.
I finally played that over this holiday break. Yo, this game is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
It was a ton of fun.
Okay. I've been asking these guys about it because I've been hearing good things too.
It's a JRPG, but like
What does that mean?
completely
Japanese
like
RPG.
new world that you wouldn't expect. It's like very French themed. It's very like turn of the 19th century French theme, kind of like Art Deco style. And you just like have this incredible world. But I think for me, what really puts it over the top is actually the gameplay itself, is the turn-based combat in this game, right? You know, you're used to turn-based combat in JRPGs, but in this they add some timing elements. So there's like time dodging and parrying and counterattack things that you have to do. Like you have to master the timing, kind of like a Souls-like game. You have to master the timing to do these quick time events to avoid damage within the battles. And then in more traditional turn-based combat, you choose your offensive actions as you normally would, right? And so it's like this combination of turn-based with quick time action that just is so fulfilling. And of course, the better that you do at dodging and parrying, the more action points you get to do your offensive stuff. And then you got to be clever about how you chain together all your actions to defeat enemies. And it's just such a satisfying battle system that I haven't come across before. And I think it speaks to, like, as much as game genres are all tried and true, there are new things that you can do. You can like push forward and mesh this stuff together and come up with new ideas. And for me, that's what Claire Obscure is doing. And I'm looking forward to finishing the rest of the game.
Ooh. I might buy it. I don't have a lot of time for single player, but I might buy it. It's like $40.
Relatively cheap. It's not like a $70 game. It's a $40 game.
Oh, no.
All right. Most original show, new show. So not an IP, not a Marvel, not a Star Wars. What was your show of the year? Brian, you're going to speak for both of us. What was it?
Oh, it's definitely Pluribus, man. And the way that I'm thinking about this is like the new IP that you think has like so much potential. The ceiling is Wemby High, right? and it's got to be Pluribus. Pluribus is so unique and original. It's like nothing else that has come before it, really. Like this idea of like some virus thing taking over all of humanity and people becoming part of a monolith, and with a few holdouts, and that clash between the holdouts and the monolith is just super interesting. And I am so excited for where they're going to take this show. Like, who knows? Like, every episode is a delightful surprise. And it's not like a mystery box show where you're trying to solve what the mystery is. The show tells you what's going on. It's just that you have no idea where it's gonna go next. And I can't wait for a second season, but we might have to wait a very long time, sadly.
Why is that?
Because the creators said they're taking their time with this thing and they're not going to rush a second season.
Okay.
So might be 2027, 2028, who knows?
All right. Our last category, it's not just for kids. What was the best animated thing? Content you saw this year? For me, it had to be K-pop Demon Hunters. I love the visual style of it, and then the story between the three girls, the three women, and then their their battle and the inner battle that Rumi has. I really enjoyed that, and I think it's just kind of a universal story of what it takes to look at yourself and conquer your own inner demons, but as an avatar for or an analog for conquering the outside demons as well. Sav, what was your best animated piece of content this year?
The easy answer is probably for me to just actually I'm gonna go with my
Run it back.
I'm
Eyes
gonna
of
go,
Wakanda.
no, I'm gonna go with My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
I've talked about this show a few times in the past. This has been a long running series. It's probably been running for the last like 10 years or so.
I couldn't get into it.
Very popular.
Tried watching the first couple episodes.
I mean, Wes, you might not be an anime fan. I don't know. I've never
Maybe
picked you.
not.
I don't think you're an anime. I don't think you're an anime fan. But yeah, My Hero. It's been running for 10 plus years now. The final season released earlier this year, a few months ago. This past like, couple months has been releasing, and it's been amazing. They poured their heart and soul into the animation, the voice acting. Kendall and I read the manga when it came out, and when the series wrapped manga a few years ago, and seeing them put it on the screen has just been huge, and what they expanded upon, and it's been a real stick the landing, finish it out banger to one of my favorite anime series in a very long time. Again, I started this series back in like 2014, 2015, and that was when it first came out, and so I've gotten to experience the whole ride and the conclusion, and they ended on a strong, sad, but it was a good note and series I look forward to.
I gotta get on that. I'm only on episode 2 or 3 or something.
But
my pick for best animated thing, I'm gonna go with Savon. I'm gonna go with anime. Season 2 of Dan to Dan.
Okay.
I mean that anime is just wild through and through. You have they do different styles of anime within. The action scenes are always the most kinetic and wild and crazy. Then you have the heart of the story, which is the budding friendship turned into romance between the two lead characters, which they do really well. And they're like high school age, so you have that aspect of it. And then how creative all the monsters that they encounter, whether alien or supernatural on this show, are always terrifying, unique, brilliant. Also pull at the heartstrings. This show is just it's like no other anime I've ever seen, and they continue to deliver.
I thought you were gonna go with Belle or something like that.
That came out years ago, my friend.
Oh, well, new this year. New to us. All right, that's it. Did we miss anything? Did we make any mistakes? We never make mistakes. We're never wrong.
30 for 30.
Not me.
All right, let us know what was your movie of the year, what was your best TV show of the year, and what was your biggest surprise of 2025. Friends, we're out of here. Hit us up on @comfortably_pod on Instagram. We're also on YouTube. You can find us there, and you can actually watch us do our silliness on actual screen. You can see Savon's amazing mug, which we described in our last episode. We're out of here. See you later. Have a great January. Welcome to 2026, y'all. Bye.